Do your legs feel sore, tight, or swollen after just a short walk? Do you ever wonder why something as simple as a stroll around the block leaves you feeling like you ran a marathon? If so, you're not alone, and you're definitely not helpless. What if I told you the pain you feel after walking could be linked to what you're eating? Or not eating, that's right. Some of the most common leg pains in seniors aren't just about age, they're about nutrition. The right foods can reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and help your muscles recover faster. In this video, I'm going to show you 6 powerful foods that have helped me and many others move more freely, with less pain. These aren't trendy superfoods or expensive powders. They're real, everyday foods that work. And here's the important part. Make sure you watch all the way to the end, because the last 2 foods are the real game changers when it comes to recovery and long-term leg health. Trust me, you won't want to miss them. Let's get into it and give your legs the support they've been waiting for. The truth about leg pain and aging. Do your legs ache after just a short walk? Not sharp pain, just that deep dragging soreness that makes every step feel heavier than the last. I know that feeling all too well. It used to hit me right after my morning stroll. My legs would tighten up, my calves would throb, and by the time I made it back to the porch, I needed to sit and catch my breath. At first, I thought it was just age. After all, when you're in your 70s or 80s, it's easy to blame discomfort on getting older. But one morning, something changed. I was walking around the block, like I'd done 100 times before, and halfway through, my legs just gave out. Not a fall, but that kind of weakness where your legs say, "No more." That scared me. I had always been proud of my independence. I didn't want to become one of those people who had to give up their daily walk, or worse, needed a walker or a cane just to get to the mailbox. So I started asking questions, reading, listening, and what I found surprised me. The pain wasn't just about age, it was about nutrition, what I was or wasn't putting into my body every single day. I learned that circulation, inflammation, and muscle repair are directly tied to the food we eat, and that some of the foods I thought were healthy weren't helping me at all. I started paying attention. I looked at the patterns. Days when I ate better, my legs felt better. Days when I skipped meals or grabbed something processed, stiffness. That's when I decided to make a change, not just how I moved, but how I fueled my movement. And let me tell you, it made a world of difference. I still have occasional soreness, sure, but that deep ache, that tight, cramping feeling, it's nearly gone. And I didn't take a single pill to fix it, I just started eating smarter. Now I want to share what I've learned with you, because I know I'm not alone in this. So many of us assume we have to accept the pain that comes with aging. But the truth is, we have more control than we think. It starts with what's on our plate. But before we get into the foods, I want to ask something simple. If this video helps you, if you want more real, practical advice for staying strong and mobile as you age, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. It helps us reach more folks who are on the same path, and it tells us that this kind of content matters. Now let's get back to this story. That day I nearly buckled on the sidewalk. I went home and made a list. What do my muscles need to recover? What helps my blood move more easily through my legs? What foods actually help reduce swelling and support joint health? What I found was eye-opening. It wasn't just about cutting out the bad stuff, it was about adding in the good. Foods that reduce inflammation, that deliver the minerals our muscles need to fire properly, that support better circulation so oxygen can actually reach our tired legs. I started noticing that the more I supported my legs from the inside out, the easier it became to walk a little farther, to stand a little longer, to enjoy movement again instead of dreading it. And that's what I want for you too. Because when your legs hurt, it's not just about the legs, it's about losing freedom, losing joy. And that's not something we need to accept quietly. The right foods won't solve everything overnight, but they will start to tip the balance back in your favor. So if your legs hurt after walking, don't give up. You're not broken. You're just waiting for the right support. and it may just be waiting for you on your next plate. Food number 1, beets. Let me tell you about the first food that changed everything for my legs. And no, it's not some exotic fruit or an expensive supplement. It's a humble root you've probably walked past 100 times in the grocery store. Beets. That's right, beets. I used to think beets were just for salads at fancy restaurants, or something you pickled and forgot in the back of the fridge. But once I learned what they do for your circulation, I made them a regular part of my week. And I'm convinced they're one of the reasons I can still walk every day without that old nagging leg pain. Here's the science in simple terms. Beets are rich in something called nitrates. When you eat them, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax and open up. That means better circulation, more oxygen getting to your muscles, less strain on your heart and less fatigue in your legs. Think about that for a moment. Every time you take a step, your muscles are calling out for oxygen. If your blood vessels are tight and your circulation is poor, that oxygen doesn't arrive fast enough. Your legs feel heavy, they cramp, they burn. Now imagine giving your blood a green light. That's what nitric oxide does. It helps everything flow. And beets are one of the best sources you can find. I didn't believe it at first, but I decided to try. I started with roasted beets, cut into wedges, tossed with a little olive oil, salt and pepper. I had them with dinner 3 times a week, and after 2 weeks, I noticed I wasn't as winded on my walks. My legs didn't tire as quickly. That deep ache that used to kick in halfway through my route, gone. Some mornings I drink a small glass of beet juice, just a few ounces. It's earthy, a little sweet, and it goes straight to work. Studies show that beet juice can increase endurance and reduce the effort it takes to walk or exercise. One study even showed older adults walked faster and longer after just a week of daily beet juice. Now, I'm not saying beets are a miracle cure, but they're part of the puzzle, and if your legs hurt after walking, they could be a piece you've been missing. You don't have to go overboard. Start small, roast a beet, add some to your salad, blend a little into a smoothie. The key is consistency. Your body will thank you. One more tip, don't throw away the greens. Beet greens are packed with magnesium and potassium, both of which support healthy muscles and prevent cramping. I sauté mine with garlic and olive oil. Tastes great and works wonders. If you're someone who's struggled with sore, tired legs, especially after walking, this little root might just surprise you. It sure surprised me. They're not glamorous, they're not trendy, but they've earned a permanent place in my kitchen. Because every time I walk down that driveway and back without pain, I know they're working for me. And that's what food should do. It should serve your body, especially when your body's been serving you for decades. Next time you see a bunch of beets at the store, don't pass them by. Pick them up, take them home, and give your legs the support they've been asking for. You might just find yourself walking farther, with less pain and a lot more freedom. Food number 2, salmon or omega-3 sources. Let me share another secret I wish I'd known sooner. Your joints, your muscles, and your blood vessels are begging for something that most people don't get nearly enough of. And if you're over 60, it becomes even more important. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, and the best source, salmon. Now, I didn't grow up eating salmon. It wasn't something we had often at the table. But the older I got, and the more I paid attention to my body, the more I realized I needed something that helped with inflammation. You know that feeling when your legs feel hot or puffy after walking, that tightness around the knees? That's inflammation. It's your body's way of saying, I'm irritated. And one of the best natural ways to calm that irritation is with omega-3s. Salmon is loaded with them. I started eating salmon twice a week. Grilled, baked, sometimes even canned if I was short on time. And within a few weeks, something subtle started to change. My legs weren't as stiff after walking. I could go a little farther without needing to stop. And the pain that used to linger around my knees after climbing stairs, it softened. Omega-3s are powerful anti-inflammatories. They help your blood flow more easily, keep your arteries smooth and flexible, and reduce the swelling that makes walking uncomfortable. But they also support brain health, heart health, and joint lubrication, all critical as we age. And it's not just my experience. Research from the Journal of the American College of Nutrition shows that older adults who consume more omega-3s report less joint pain, better endurance, and even improved mood. Now, if you're not a fan of salmon, don't worry, you've got options. Sardines are another great source. Plus, they're cheap and packed with calcium. Mackerel, trout, and herring are also loaded with omega-3s. And if you don't eat fish at all, try walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and even algae-based omega-3 supplements. Just make sure you're getting them regularly. It's not about the one fish dinner. It's about building a routine your body can count on. Here's how I like to prepare it. I season a salmon fillet with lemon, garlic, and a little olive oil. Bake it in the oven for 15-20 minutes. Serve it with some roasted sweet potatoes or steamed greens. It's simple, it's satisfying, and my legs always feel better the next morning. The truth is, food is either fighting inflammation or feeding it. When you give your body the right fats, like the ones in salmon, you're putting out the fire that causes stiffness, swelling, and soreness. So if you've been feeling like your legs betray you after a walk, or you need to sit down just to stop the ache, think about what you're feeding those legs. They carry you every day, isn't it time to carry them back? Try adding salmon or another omega-3 rich food to your plate this week, even just once, then see how your body responds. It might not change everything overnight, but over time, it could change the way you walk, the way you feel, and the way you live. Food number 3, spinach and leafy greens. Now, if there's one food group I wish I'd appreciated more when I was younger, it's leafy greens. I'll be honest, I used to push them to the side of my plate. They looked plain, tasted bland, and didn't seem to do much. But I was wrong. Turns out, they're some of the most powerful medicine we can put on our forks, especially when it comes to leg pain and muscle health. Let's talk about spinach, or kale, or Swiss chard, even romaine or arugula. These humble greens are packed with minerals our legs are often crying out for, like magnesium, potassium, and vitamin K. Now here's what that means in plain language. Magnesium helps your muscles relax. Without it, you're more likely to get cramps, spasms, and stiffness, especially after walking. Potassium helps your nerves fire properly and balances out sodium in your body, which keeps swelling down. And vitamin K, that's the one your blood vessels love. It keeps them flexible and strong, which helps with circulation from your hips all the way down to your toes. When I started adding more leafy greens to my meals, I noticed a difference within days. My legs didn't feel as tight when I got up from the chair. That slow, dragging feeling I'd get after walking around the grocery store. It was lighter, easier, and I wasn't waking up in the middle of the night with calf cramps anymore. Here's how I do it now. I keep a big bag of spinach in the fridge. Every morning I toss a handful into my scrambled eggs or blend it into a smoothie. At lunch, I'll have a salad. Nothing fancy, just greens, olive oil, maybe a little tuna or boiled egg. At dinner, I'll sauté kale or Swiss chard with garlic and olive oil. It takes 5 minutes and tastes better than you think. One of my favorite tricks: add a splash of lemon juice. It helps your body absorb more of the minerals and gives the greens a little extra brightness. And I want to say something important here. Eating better doesn't mean eating fancy. It means giving your body what it needs to work like it should. Leafy greens aren't a trend, they're a tool, and they've stood the test of time for a reason. In fact, studies from Harvard and the Journal of Nutrition show that people who eat more leafy greens have better mobility, lower inflammation, and slower muscle decline as they age. That's not a coincidence. They're easy to overlook. But when your legs ache after walking, it's often your muscles and nerves sounding the alarm. Leafy greens give them the minerals they need to calm down and keep moving. So if your legs have been begging for a break, give them a boost instead. Add a little green to your plate this week. Your muscles will thank you, and your next walk might just feel a little lighter, a little smoother, and a lot more free. Food number 4, Greek yogurt or high-protein options. If you've been dealing with tired, sore legs after walking, there's one essential nutrient your muscles are probably begging for, and that's protein. Especially as we get older, protein isn't just important, it's absolutely critical. Let me tell you why. Your muscles don't just need activity, they need building blocks. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or even stand up from your chair, your muscles go to work. But after the work, they need to repair. That repair comes from protein. Without enough of it, you don't recover properly. Your muscles weaken, your balance suffers, and yes, your legs start to hurt. When I turned 65, I thought I was eating healthy. Toast, fruit, maybe a little oatmeal in the morning. But I'd feel shaky by mid-morning. And after my daily walk, my legs felt heavy, like I was dragging sandbags. My doctor asked me how much protein I was eating. I didn't know, so I started tracking it. And I was shocked I was barely getting enough to maintain muscle, let alone rebuild it. So I made a change. Now my go-to breakfast is simple. Greek yogurt with walnuts and berries. That one bowl gives me about 20 grams of protein plus healthy fats and antioxidants. And guess what? I feel stronger. My legs recover faster. I don't crash mid-morning, and I don't ache the way I used to after a long walk. Greek yogurt is a powerhouse. It's high in protein, rich in calcium, and packed with probiotics that support gut health. And when your gut is healthy, your whole body functions better, including your joints and muscles. If you don't like yogurt, there are plenty of other options. Eggs, cottage cheese, tofu, beans, lentils, even a protein smoothie made with unsweetened almond milk, and a scoop of quality protein powder. The key is to get enough, not just once a day, but with every meal. Experts recommend aiming for 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, especially for older adults. You see, after 60, our bodies don't absorb protein as efficiently. That means we actually need more of it than we did when we were younger. And when we don't get enough, our muscles shrink, our energy dips, and our legs feel the strain. One study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consumed adequate protein had significantly better mobility, fewer falls, and stronger immune systems. That's no small thing. And here's something else. Protein helps regulate blood sugar. That means more steady energy during your walk and fewer crashes after. It also helps maintain a healthy weight, which takes pressure off your knees and hips. You don't have to overhaul your diet. Start small, swap your toast for eggs, add some beans to your soup, toss nuts into your salad. The goal is to make sure your muscles get what they need to support you, because they've been doing it for years. And the truth is, the soreness we blame on age is often just a lack of recovery. Protein is your recovery fuel. And when you feed your body what it truly needs, it doesn't just survive, it thrives. So next time you're reaching for breakfast or planning your dinner, ask yourself, where's the protein? Your legs will know the difference. Food number 5, tart cherries, plus food number 6, sweet potatoes. There are 2 foods I never used to think twice about. One's a fruit I thought only belonged in pies. The other's a root vegetable I always passed by for plain white potatoes. But today, they're 2 of my best friends when it comes to keeping my legs strong, steady, and pain-free. I'm talking about tart cherries and sweet potatoes. And if your legs hurt after walking, these 2 can work wonders together. Let's start with tart cherries. Not the sweet kind you eat by the handful, but the tart, slightly sour ones you often find in juice or dried form. These little fruits are loaded with antioxidants, especially something called anthocyanins. That's the compound that gives them their deep red color and their powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Now, I'm not tossing out buzzwords. Real research shows that tart cherry juice can reduce muscle soreness, speed up recovery, and even help with arthritis pain. One study showed that older adults who drank tart cherry juice daily had less muscle damage and felt less pain after physical activity. I take a small glass, about 4 ounces, after my walk, especially if it's been a long one. It's tart, refreshing, and I genuinely feel the difference the next day. My legs aren't as tight, my knees don't bark at me, and I don't need to reach for anything over the counter to ease the pain. Now let's talk about sweet potatoes. These are more than just a holiday side dish. They're packed with potassium, magnesium, and fiber, nutrients that help relax your muscles, reduce swelling, and give you long-lasting energy. Potassium is especially important. It works hand in hand with sodium to keep your fluid balance in check. When you don't get enough potassium, your muscles cramp, your legs swell, and your energy drops. Sweet potatoes give you more potassium than a banana, plus they're rich in complex carbs that fuel your muscles steadily. After adding sweet potatoes to my meals a few times a week, I noticed fewer aches after a walk. I wasn't dragging my feet by the end of the day, and my nighttime leg cramps, which used to wake me up, started to disappear. I roast them with olive oil and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Sometimes I mash them with a little garlic. They're easy, delicious, and they work. Now imagine what happens when you put these two foods together. One fights inflammation, the other fights fatigue. Together, they help your legs recover, restore, and stay ready for the next walk. If your legs are sore and tired after walking, don't just treat the pain, support the recovery. These two foods do exactly that. Tart cherries and sweet potatoes may not sound fancy, but they're rich in exactly what your body needs. And the best part, you don't need a prescription, just a plate. So give your legs a little love this week. A glass of tart cherry juice after your walk, a side of sweet potatoes with dinner. It's simple, it's natural, and over time, it makes a real difference. Because the goal isn't just to walk without pain, it's to walk with freedom, with confidence, and with joy. And that starts with what you choose to put on your plate. So there you have it, 6 foods that have made a real difference in how I walk, recover, and feel every day. Beets to boost blood flow, salmon to calm inflammation, leafy greens to feed your muscles, protein to rebuild strength, and of course, tart cherries and sweet potatoes to help your legs bounce back with ease. These aren't complicated fixes. They're simple choices, small changes that build strength, lower pain, and help you take back control. Because it's not just about walking without discomfort. It's about walking with confidence, with energy, with freedom. If this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to Glowing Age. We're here to help you live stronger, move better, and age with grace. And we'd love to have you with us on this journey. Try adding just one of these foods to your meals this week. Watch how your body responds. Then keep going. One step, one bite, one better day at a time. Your legs have carried you through a lifetime. It's time to return the favor. Stay strong, stay steady, and keep glowing.